As millions prepare for tomorrow's nationwide protest, a sense of anticipation and urgency fills the air. Across cities and towns, people from all walks of life are coming together, united by a shared desire to make their voices heard. But even before the first chants echo through the streets, a different kind of noise is building, a carefully orchestrated campaign of misinformation. Behind closed doors, political strategists and consultants are working overtime, crafting narratives designed to undermine the protest's legitimacy. Their goal is clear: to discredit the movement before it even begins, shaping public opinion through repetition and spin. Republican leaders, from the highest offices to local representatives, are echoing the same talking points. They label the No Kings rally as anti-American, dangerous, and even subversive, hoping these words will stick in the minds of viewers and voters alike. This isn't a spontaneous reaction. It's a script, meticulously distributed from the Speaker of the House to cable news surrogates and political allies. Every phrase, every accusation, is part of a larger strategy to control the narrative. Their language is loaded and intentional, using terms like antifa and hate America to stoke fear and suspicion. By painting the protest as chaos, they hope to delegitimize the movement in the eyes of the public before it even has a chance to speak for itself. The aim is to make Americans see not their neighbors or fellow citizens, but a threatening, unruly mob. Through selective images and inflammatory rhetoric, they seek to divide communities and sow distrust. All of this serves as a distraction from the real crisis: a looming government shutdown, shuttered agencies, and the loss of vital services under their own watch. Instead of addressing the consequences of their inaction, like lost healthcare subsidies and closed offices, they point fingers at a grassroots movement, hoping to shift blame and avoid accountability. The outrage you see on television is not organic. It's a calculated diversion, designed to keep the public's attention away from their own failures to govern and the real issues facing the nation. This is a transparent attempt to poison public perception, to cast doubt and suspicion before a single sign is raised or a single voice is heard in protest. The American people deserve better than this insult to their intelligence. They deserve honest debate, real solutions, and leaders who respect their right to assemble and speak out. In the end, the truth will be louder than any script. The No Kings movement isn't a Hate America rally. It's a defense of America's founding ideals. At its heart, this movement is about honoring the vision that inspired the birth of the nation: liberty, equality, and the belief that no one is above the law. Participants aren't gathering to criticize the country, but to protect the very principles that make it unique and strong. No Kings is a direct reference to rejecting monarchy and authoritarianism, echoing the spirit of 1776. The phrase is a reminder of why the United States was founded in the first place: to ensure that power would always rest with the people, not with a single ruler or unchecked authority. Protesters are standing up for the rule of law and demanding accountability from those in power. They're calling for transparency, fairness, and a government that serves its citizens, not the other way around. Their voices echo the demands of generations before them who fought for justice and representation. This isn't about partisan politics or a specific bill. It's a civic response to threats against democracy. People from all backgrounds are coming together, united by a shared concern for the future of the republic and the health of its democratic institutions. The movement is massive. Millions marched in June, and tomorrow's protest will be even larger, spanning continents. From small towns to major cities, and even in solidarity events abroad, the call to defend democracy is resonating far beyond America's borders. These aren't fringe radicals. They're ordinary Americans from all walks of life. Teachers, veterans, parents, students, and retirees are all standing side by side, united by a common purpose. Their diversity is a testament to the broad appeal of the movement's message. Their message is patriotic: uphold the Constitution, protect checks and balances, and defend government by the people. They believe that true patriotism means holding the nation to its highest standards and ensuring that its founding promises are kept for future generations. They gather not to tear down the country, but to protect it from authoritarian drift. Their actions are rooted in hope, not anger, and in a deep love for the nation's democratic traditions. The attempt to twist this act of patriotism into something sinister is a disservice to millions. It ignores the genuine desire for unity, justice, and a better future that drives these Americans to the streets. This is a reaffirmation of America's core promise: that government exists to serve the people, and that democracy is worth defending. together as one nation, indivisible. Who are the protesters? Not paid agitators, but a broad coalition of ordinary citizens, teachers, nurses, veterans, students. Organized by mainstream groups and unions, these are our neighbors, not shadowy outsiders. Most have never protested before, but feel compelled by genuine concern for the country's direction. The claim that millions are paid to protest is not just false. It's insulting. These events are peaceful, family-friendly, and overwhelmingly nonviolent. The real face of this movement is grandparents with grandchildren, not masked radicals. They gather out of love for democracy and a desire to preserve it for future generations. The attacks on the No Kings rally are loudest now because they serve as a distraction from a self-inflicted government shutdown. With the GOP controlling Congress and the White House, they're blaming protesters for a crisis of their own making. The real legislative impasse is over healthcare tax credits, but instead of negotiating, they scapegoat the protest. Officials have gone on TV to falsely link the rally to government workers missing paychecks. The protest date was set long before the shutdown, but facts don't matter to this narrative. Meanwhile, the administration is using the shutdown to quietly fire thousands of federal employees. The real crisis is the hollowing out of government, not peaceful protest. The rally is a cover story, not the cause. While cameras focus on protesters, the real dismantling happens in the background. Don't be fooled by the manufactured outrage. Framing peaceful protest as un-American ignores our history. America was born from protest. From the Boston Tea Party to the Civil Rights Movement, dissent has driven our greatest progress. The right to assemble and speak out is enshrined in the First Amendment for a reason. Today's protesters stand in that tradition, exercising rights secured by generations before them. To call this hate America is to misunderstand what America is. True patriots demand leaders uphold the Constitution, not blind loyalty. The protesters are not a threat. They are proof that the spirit of 1776 endures. Their presence is a sign of democracy's strength, not its weakness. This is what keeps America free. The attacks on the No Kings rally reveal a deeper shift in the Republican Party, from principle to personal loyalty. Once the party of Lincoln, it now demands allegiance to a single leader over the Constitution. The protest's message, No Kings, directly challenges this new orthodoxy. Critics are branded as enemies, not fellow citizens with legitimate concerns. This is the language of loyalty tests, where dissent equals treason. Such a culture erodes democratic norms, replacing principle with personality. The party's reaction isn't isolated, it's part of a trend toward silencing opposition. Once defenders of free speech, they now seek to delegitimize millions exercising that right. This isn't about left versus right, it's about open society versus enforced conformity. The line has been drawn, and the party's response shows where it stands. The campaign to paint the No Kings rally as dangerous isn't just about headlines, it's about setting the stage for a crackdown. By framing the protest as a threat, authorities can justify extreme measures. By warning of chaos and invoking the National Guard, officials are priming the public to accept heavy-handed responses. This tactic is designed to create fear and uncertainty, making people more willing to accept drastic actions. If even a minor incident occurs, it will be seized upon as proof of the narrative. The media will amplify these incidents, portraying them as evidence of widespread disorder. This is a classic authoritarian playbook: demonize, create a pretext, then restrict rights. By portraying peaceful protesters as dangerous, they can justify surveillance and arrests. New laws, increased surveillance and arrests could follow, making protest risky. The chilling effect on free speech and assembly is profound. The goal is to scare people into silence. When people are afraid to speak out, it becomes easier to control the narrative and suppress dissent. The real danger may not be the protesters, but the response to them. Heavy-handed tactics can escalate tensions and lead to more violence. Any overreaction will be used to justify further erosion of freedoms. Each crackdown sets a precedent for the next, eroding civil liberties over time. Protest organizers know this, which is why they stress nonviolence. They understand that any act of violence can be used against them. But the narrative is already set. They're looking for an excuse. Authorities are prepared to twist any event to fit their agenda. We must be vigilant and call out any attempt to use peaceful protest as a pretext for repression. The world is watching, and our response matters. Our freedoms depend on our response. Standing up against these tactics is crucial to preserving our rights and ensuring that peaceful protest remains a powerful tool for change. In times of crisis, Americans look to their leaders for courage and clarity. Former President Obama has spoken out, warning against abuses of power. But where are other leaders like George W. Bush, whose voice could bridge divides? His silence, and that of others, is not neutral. It enables extremism to fill the void. Former presidents have a duty to defend democracy, beyond party lines. This is a moment for profiles in courage, not quiet disagreement. Leaders must remind us of the value of dissent and the danger of demanding loyalty to a person over the Constitution. The call isn't to endorse a party, but to endorse America's founding principles. Silence now is complicity. On the eve of protest, remember, the real danger isn't in the streets, but in the quiet erosion of democracy. Authoritarianism thrives when people are too afraid or complacent to speak up. The No Kings marchers are democracy's immune system, standing up for foundational principles. They're not radicals, but engaged citizens defending freedom for all. The threat is a government that blames citizens for its own failures and demands loyalty to one man. The threat is the silencing of dissent and the quiet firing of civil servants. This is how democracies falter, not with a bang, but with a whimper. As you watch tomorrow, look past the spin. See the patriotism in the crowd. The real question, will we defend the right to protest even if we disagree? The only thing more dangerous than a would-be king is a silent citizenry.